Resident Evil 6.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Resident Evil 6 professional difficulty video walkthrough. So now that we're moving towards this gas station, this is probably the first real challenge of the game, because it's quite an open area. There's a bunch of zombies, there's a bunch of, different interactions that you have to do, and it's the first introduction to something that is as far as what Resident Evil is to me than you can possibly be, and that is zombies with guns. And I know that this is not the first title to feature this, and it could be much worse than it is, but at the same time, when I think Resident Evil, I don't think zombies with guns. I just don't. I really don't. And I wish it wasn't in the game, but it is, and you've just got to deal with it. You've just got to keep moving on, and they're by no means the worst enemy in the game. They're a little bit annoying, because when they shoot you, it can knock you off balance and make you fall down, which, if anybody's played Lost Planet on Extreme, you'll have a whole new appreciation for being knocked down and getting staggered and stunned frequently. This section right here, when that ambulance comes, if you are in the path that it just drove, it will instant kill you. You can't evade it, you can't do anything. It's literally, you will just die and you'll not understand why, so do not stand in any way, shape or form close to the path that it drives. And the back of it opens up, and lo and behold, the gun-totting zombie fucking untouchable crew turns up. But the thing with this section here, you'll notice I didn't really do much. I just kind of meleeed a couple zombies. I waited for the interaction right there, and all I have to do now is shoot the gas. Once this is done, it's going to do another cutscene, hence why there was that black screen for quite some time, which I probably should have trimmed out because this does seem kind of lengthy, but I did skip it because I generally get rid of cinematics so that this can show people how to do the game as opposed to teaching you how to watch a cutscene. And if you can't watch a cutscene, you need help. Unless you're blind, and then obviously that's perfectly fine. Fingers crossed there's somebody next to you telling you what's happening, or an audiobook. But kick all the stuff, pick up all the things, and continue forward. Right now I should be laying down to get my stamina back, but I didn't know the little tip at this point. Fantastic tip from that guy. Still haven't checked who the fuck it was that said it. Do apologise. But I've just been playing Borderlands 2 with pretty much the podcast crew of mine, the Time Cop guys. Everybody except for Aiden, because he's with his girlfriend. And we were trying to do the Lord of the Rings Easter egg in Borderlands 2, and I was recording it so I could put up a little bit more Borderlands content, because it's a difficult game to upload Borderlands, because it's not the most interesting to watch unless something stupid or fun is happening, and, there's only so much shooting dudes and shooting more dudes and picking up loot that you can watch, because I didn't even play Diablo 3, I want to, but I know that everybody got burnt out on watching Diablo 3 on YouTube really quickly because it's a boring game to watch. And Borderlands is a little bit more interesting, but it does not have the shelf life of something like a Dark Souls. And there's so many playthroughs going up on YouTube, I don't really think I could add anything to the mix. So I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm definitely going to continue to bring you content. It'll probably be challenge runs of Terramorphous, things like that. As that guy gets a fucking cheap-ass bite on me, which I'm not too happy about. Oh, it's cool. I'm gonna let him. But I should probably talk about what's happening on the game, because this does get quite hectic in this room. Certain things to bear in mind. On professional difficulty, anything that touches you will generally put you to the death screen. By the death screen, it is a down but not out status, where your AI partner or friend can come and pick you up. The partners are pretty good at picking you up, but if you get into a situation where you do go down, sometimes it can be better to just restart the checkpoint. That's generally what I've been doing in this guide, and that's why you've not seen me go down too frequently. The biggest thing about it is you never know if the zombies are going to mount you and do those overly long sequences where they rip your throat out, or if your partner's going to pick you up, and you never know if your partner does pick you up if you're immediately going to get one-shotted. So I really don't recommend relying on the revive system on this difficulty unless you're playing with a friend, and even then the frustration factor is high because the enemies are so good at just cheap shotting you as you get up. It's fucking stupid. What I've also noticed as well by reading the manual, which is something it told me on the tutorials at the start of the game, but I completely forgot. If you don't want to go into your menu to mix those herbs and put them in your, put them in your active use item or whatever the hell they call that little shortcut, if you hold, I believe it's the right bumper, and you press, I think it's X, it will reload whatever herbs you have into that slot. I do not know how accurate this is, so personally I'm probably not going to use it until I've tested it, but it does sound like a good idea, because the amount of times I've been running around and using my inventory like a headless chicken can get kind of tense if you don't know what you're doing. But this segment here, when I first tried it, I was super tempted to let the AI shoot them and save my bullets, because you'll notice, wow, I got saved there by the AI. I have a lot of ammo, and the reason I've got a lot of ammo is because I try to melee everything, because the melee is, it's not the best, but it's still better than shooting. Some of the times when you shoot zombies, they take so many bullets, it's just obnoxious. Other times, you get lucky and their head bursts and things like that. And the more bullets you have, the more comfortable I feel in these games. But you'll notice the AI in the room are not bad by any means. They will do some serious damage, because a bunch of them have got what looks like Chris's assault rifle, so that's kind of fortunate. But this bit's going to get a little bit worse. If you're wondering why my voice went ridiculous just then, it's because the back of my throat went super dry, so I had to stop it and take a sip. It's one of the many detriments to speaking to yourself at length. And one of the deficits of my commentary style, because I do enjoy to give you a full video worth of commentary. I don't like awkward silences. I like to try and keep it as fluid and seamless as I can, which is one of the main reasons why I generally go off on strange tangents, because they help me speak. Some people like it, some people don't. It's one of those things. But the luxury of YouTube is, if you don't like it, you can find something you do like. But this right here, as soon as this checkpoint happens, if you put one of those sticky bombs down at the door, you can hit this fat guy with it when he comes out of this little cutscene. And I think it stuns him. But he's still going, because this is professional difficulty and this guy takes a pounding. And he's going to come for you. He prioritizes you over the AI, and this can get really sloppy really fast if you're not careful. Like just then, I hit an NPC with a grenade, which doesn't help my cause. But when he rears back like that, he's going to charge, so be very careful. His pathing is just like the zombies, where if you sidestep him, you can generally get past him. But just be careful. If he does get you, you're going to have a bad time. It's just how it works. But anybody who's been wondering why these videos haven't gone up faster, the first reason is one of them got flagged for copyright, and because I'm in the middle of finalising my partnership and actually becoming a member of TGN, I don't want to get into trouble before I've even, got on the roster. So I'm kind of conflicted until I can send them an email and say, yo guys, is this okay for me to continue? Because there's hundreds of these videos online, and they've all got ads on them. There's people getting thousands and thousands of views, and they're all probably having a great time. But chances are, the first time I put something up, I'm the dude who gets the strike. I'm the dude who gets fucked, because it's just my luck. The second reason, watch that. Do you see that bullshit? I even did a side roll to evade the fat guy. Admittedly, I think I hit the fridge, and he still clipped me. But I get lucky here because, is it Helena? I can't remember her name, but she's very close to me, so she picks me up. And when you get up, you'll notice I'm in this red state. You need to immediately heal to get out of this state. I've not done it correctly. You should use 2 right bumpers to get the little tic-tacs. As soon as you go back to this, you're fine. Because obviously on professional, 1 grab is dead mode anyway, so it doesn't matter if you have max squares or 2 squares. You're the exact same health capacity. I think the only time when that fails is if you're up against a boss that can do some severe damage. But as I've mentioned, it doesn't matter in the co-op, because you generally don't get one-shotted unless you get grabbed. And even then, I don't think that kills you. I think it puts you always down into the down state, so you can actually game the system a little bit by knowing that you're safe, even though it's not guaranteed for you to get back up when you go down, because this game is fucking broken with that mechanic. But when we move out onto the roof, we're going to have another engagement. If you come over to this gate and you stick down some of these bombs, it's going to slow the fat guy down, and it's going to blow up some of the dudes that are with him. Because there's a fat guy, there's a skinless guy, and there's a whole bunch of like firemen and standard zombie types. And anybody who's curious for, you know, my activities on this game, I actually played Agent Hunt on this level against a guy, and I could not injure that dude for the life of me. I don't know if it was lag. The zombie I played as was so fucking slow. He didn't do anything. It was really bad. And he just kept mashing me down with the shotgun. It was just one shot put me on my ass, the second shot finished me off. It was not very balanced. It reminded me of Dead Space, so you can imagine the hilarity that I'm hopefully going to capture. But the sticky bombs are kind of rare, but they work, and in all honesty, you don't really need them for anything else. Be careful of the skinless dude. He's a pain in the dick. The one guaranteed way to down him is to throw an incendiary grenade at him. It'll always put him on his knees so you can shoot him in the heart. One thing about Resident Evil 6 that I completely hate is, if anybody remembers Resi 4 and Resi 5 to some extent, there was something called a Laplier. It was a mechanic where if you headshotted a zombie, this creature that was controlling them came out at the top of the head, and it was a pest. It was actually quite difficult at times when they evolved and they became like super Lapliers. Well, the biggest weakness that they had was flashbang grenades, and if you threw a flashbang grenade you could pop a bunch of dudes' heads, and it gave you this really awesome, empowering feeling, because you knew a bad situation could be turned around immediately if you had flashbangs, and it gave you this really awesome like mechanic. It was this balance that really worked, because the flashbangs weren't too useful at anything else aside from stunning enemies, but if any of them changed, you could immediately get rid of them. This game, they don't do anything except for blind you, blind the enemies, and that's it. They don't pop heads, they don't burst evolutions, they just seem to be completely fucking pointless. Like, the only thing I can think that these grenades do anything against is a human player playing as a zombie. That is literally it. But this is the final sequence of the level of part 1 in Leon's campaign, and all you have to do is shoot this fat guy until he lets go of the bus. Obviously this is on professional, this is Resident Evil 6, so his face takes about 700 bullets, and the reason I'm standing as far back as I am is to stop those zombies from spitting at me. Because when I stood at front to do some shotgun shells at point blank range, I got covered in vomit, and I've played enough Left 4 Dead to know that anything that has projectile is a pain in the dick. So just stay back, keep shooting him, the cutscenes are going to keep triggering, and before you know it you will have ended the first section of this 5-part campaign. And just be careful if any of the zombies come in, just to do a couple, you know, do some kung fu, some drop kicks, some low kicks. Watch out for the skinless guy. Luckily enough, he's got the Michael Jordan jump, and he missed me, so I can capitalise on that. But never underestimate the zombies when they run, because they almost 100% of the time will do the stupid Michael Jordan jump. But there's the fat guy, there's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching, I hope it's helping, and you take care now.